Hey there, Virgo. I'm back and here for the reading.
Something significant is building momentum in your life right now. And the reason I'm saying you need to prepare is because when it arrives, the shift is going to be so complete that you'll need to have done the internal work to handle it. This isn't about scaring you, this is about readiness because life changing moments don't just require the right circumstances, they require the right person to receive them, and you're becoming that person. Let me describe what's happening. You may have been in a preparatory phase without realizing it. Everything you've been going through, every challenge you've faced, every lesson you've learned has been building your capacity for something bigger. Some people experience this phase as frustrating. They're working hard and not seeing results. They're growing, but it doesn't feel like progress. They're being tested without understanding why. It might feel like you've been stuck, like you're doing everything right, but nothing's moving forward, like you're investing energy into a future that keeps not arriving. But here's what you don't see yet: you're not stuck, you're being fortified. You're developing strength you don't know you'll need until you need it. Let's pause here. This reflection invites you to consider, what have you been learning through difficulty that might be preparing you for opportunity? Maybe it's resilience, the ability to keep going when things are hard, to not crumble when pressure increases, to maintain your center when everything around you is chaos. You may have developed that without noticing, through surviving things you didn't think you could survive, through getting back up repeatedly, through choosing to keep trying when quitting would have been easier. It's possible what's about to change your life is going to require exactly that resilience. It's going to test you, push you, demand more from you than you've ever given before. Some people get opportunities they're not ready for, and the opportunity destroys them. Not because the opportunity was bad, but because they didn't have the internal capacity to sustain it. You may have watched that happen to others, people who got their big break and immediately fell apart, who couldn't handle success, who sabotaged themselves right when things started working. But you're different. You're being prepared. And preparation isn't punishment, it's protection. It can feel unfair that you have to be ready before blessings arrive. Like, why can't good things come first and the growth happen after? Why does readiness require suffering? But that's not how it works. You don't develop strength in comfort, you develop it through resistance. And the resistance you've been facing, it's been building exactly what you need. This reflection invites you to consider, how have you become stronger through what you've endured? There's something specific about what prepare actually means. It's possible preparing means getting your mental and emotional house in order, healing wounds that would interfere with receiving, releasing patterns that would sabotage success, developing beliefs that support expansion instead of contraction. You may have work to do internally that you've been avoiding, therapy you've been putting off, conversations you've been dodging, forgiveness you've been withholding, grief you've been suppressing. Some people try to bypass the internal work and just receive the external blessing, and it never works because unhealed parts sabotage what unhealed parts can't maintain. You may need to look honestly at what's still broken inside you, what wounds are still running the show, what fears are still controlling your choices, what beliefs are still limiting your potential. Because what's coming is going to expose all of that. It's going to put pressure on every weak point. And if you haven't strengthened those points beforehand, the pressure will break you. It can feel overwhelming to realize how much internal work needs doing, like you're not ready, like you'll never be ready, like the gap between where you are and where you need to be is too big. But you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing to look at your stuff, willing to do the work, willing to grow into the person who can handle what's coming. This reflection invites you to consider, what internal work have you been avoiding that you know you need to do? Let me talk about what might actually be changing. It's possible it's relational, a connection that transforms how you understand love and partnership. Someone entering your life who requires you to show up more authentically than you ever have before. Or it's professional, an opportunity that catapults you into a completely different level. Something that moves you from where you are to where you've been dreaming of being. Maybe it's geographical, a move that changes everything. New city, new environment, new possibilities that weren't available where you were. Some people experience multiple changes at once. Like everything shifts simultaneously. Like all the areas where they've been stuck suddenly open. You may be entering one of those periods where it's not just one thing changing, it's your whole life reorganizing itself around a new center of gravity. And that level of change, that requires preparation, because when everything shifts at once, you need to be grounded enough to not get swept away. It can feel exciting and terrifying simultaneously. Like you want the change, but you're scared of what it'll demand from you. Like you're ready and not ready at the same time. But that tension is normal. Change always comes with both excitement and fear. And feeling both doesn't mean you're not ready. It means you're human. This reflection invites you to consider, if multiple areas of your life changed at once, what would you need to stay grounded? There's something about timing that matters here. It's possible the change is closer than you think. You've been in preparation long enough. You've learned what you needed to learn. You've developed what you needed to develop. And now it's time for the preparation to translate into manifestation, for the internal work to create external results, for the readiness to meet the opportunity. Some people stay in preparation mode forever. They keep learning and healing and growing, but never actually step into the arena. They use preparation as avoidance. You may have been doing that, telling yourself you need more time, more healing, more clarity, more certainty before you're ready. But at some point, preparation becomes procrastination. At some point, you have to trust that you're ready enough, that you'll figure out the rest as you go. It can feel safer to stay in preparation. Like as long as you're preparing, you can't fail. Like the real test only comes when you actually try. But you can't prepare your way into transformation. You can only prepare yourself to handle it when it arrives. And it's arriving whether you feel ready or not. What you might need to release is the belief that you'll feel completely ready when the time comes. You won't. You'll still have doubts, still have fears, still have questions. But readiness isn't the absence of fear. It's the willingness to move forward despite the fear. It's trusting yourself to handle whatever comes instead of needing to know exactly how it'll unfold. Some people wait for the fear to go away before they act, and the fear never goes away, so they never act. And they miss everything waiting for a feeling that only comes through doing. You may need to act while still afraid, move while still uncertain, say yes while still doubting. That's not recklessness, that's courage. It can feel like you're jumping without a net, like you're risking everything on something that might not work out, like you're being irresponsible. But playing it safe is the biggest risk of all, because playing it safe guarantees you stay exactly where you are. And where you are isn't where you're meant to stay. Let me talk about what you control in all of this. It's possible you can't control when the change arrives, but you can control how ready you are when it does. You can control whether you've done the internal work, whether you've healed what needs healing, whether you've released what needs releasing. You can control your response, whether you meet the change with openness or resistance, whether you say yes or talk yourself into no, whether you step forward or step back. Some people get the exact opportunity they've been praying for and then sabotage it, not consciously, but through old patterns, old fears, old beliefs that they're not worthy of good things. You may need to watch for that, for the ways you might sabotage yourself right when things start working, for the patterns that show up to protect you from success because success feels more vulnerable than failure. It can feel strange to need protection from good things, but we often fear success more than failure because success changes everything, and humans are wired to fear change even when it's positive. You remain in complete control of how you prepare and how you respond. You can do the work or avoid it. You can stay open or close down. You can step into what's coming or step away from it. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has brought up urgency, maybe anxiety about whether you're actually ready, maybe excitement, maybe resistance to doing the hard internal work. Whatever it is, honor it, take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Before we close, I want to ask you something. What's one thing you know you need to do to prepare for the next level of your life? Drop it in the comments. And what's stopping you from doing it right now? No joke. You better prepare for what's about to change your life. And preparation isn't about fear. It's about respect. Respect for the magnitude of what's coming, respect for your own capacity, respect for the journey that's brought you here. You've been in training. The training is almost complete. The real thing is approaching, not eventually, soon. Trust yourself with this. Trust that everything you've been through has been preparing you for exactly this. Trust that you're more ready than you feel. Trust that you can handle what's coming, even if you can't see the whole picture yet. I'll see you in the next one. And listen. Life-changing moments favor the prepared, not the perfect, the prepared. Do the work. The change is coming regardless. You might as well be ready for it. Stay grounded, stay open, stay willing. It's time.